नहमदुहु व नसल्ली अला रसूलिल करीम अम्मा बाद फ़अऊज़ु बिल्लाहि मिनश शैतानिर रजीम बिस्मिल्लाहिर रहमानिर रहीम। Welcome to the second session of Deeni Esthlahat. Today, inshallah, I will pass the mic to Nadwi Saab to talk about Iqamat-e-Deen. In the first session, Nadwi Saab very deeply in detail talked about the term Khilafa. The recording of that session is available. I'm just sharing on the screen so that you can go there and check that out. It's a YouTube link. And the channel name is Tanzeem Ahya-e-Islam Canada. That's where the recording is available. And inshallah, the future recordings will also be posted there. So you can visit the channel. So I'm just passing on the mic to Dr. Nadwi Saab.
Walaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Recording in progress.
Yes, I started the video for you.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Alhamdulillah wa salatu wa salam ala rasulihil kareem wa ba'd. So before I start my own talk, I will just quote some ahadith and some quoting from our salaf, from our the better century scholars. قال الذهبي قال عبد العزيز أحمد عبد العزيز رملي حدثنا الوليد بن مسلم الأوزاعي قال سمعت الزهري لما حدث عن النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم قال لا يزني الزاني حين يزني وهو مؤمن فقلت له ما هو فما هو قال من الله القول وعلى الرسول البلاغ وعلينا التسليم أمروا حديث رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم كما جاء بلا كيف. Imam Zahabi in his book Sayru Alam al-Nubala, he reported from his chain that Imam Auza'i, one of the very great scholar of hadith, he said that one time I heard from Zuhri reporting a hadith कि हदीस ये थी कि जब कोई आदमी जिना करता है, वो जिना कर रहा होता है तो उस मोमिन नहीं होता है। तो मैंने कहा ये कैसे हो सकता है? तो मैंने ये बात कही कि how you are saying that some person committing adultery, so he will not be believer, or he will not, his iman will not be in his heart or whatever. So he said how it is possible, how it make any sense. तो ज़ुहरी ने कहा कि क़ाला मिन अल्लाहि अल-क़ौल, अल्लाह सुब्हानहु व तआला का काम है एक बात को कह देना. The wording is coming from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. wa ala rasul al-balagh, and Rasul का काम है उस बात को आगे पहुंचा देना. And Rasul's duty is to convey the message. wa alayna at-taslim, and our duty is to surrender for it, to accept it as it is. So this is really a definition of Islam. We have many different definitions, but I think it is the best, and it is coming from our early generations. So it's worth to pay attention on it. Okay, the Islam actually its component are three. First thing, the source of all kind of guidance, halal and haram, all ahkam, all things which is coming in Islam, it is from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. First thing. So his position is to initiate, to decide, to declare. कि अल्लाह ताला काम है, उसने एक हुक्म देना है, उसने दे दिया, ये दीन है, पहला इस्लाम का हिस्सा ये हो गया, ये बेस है हमारी. नबी करीम का काम क्या है? To convey the message as it is, except what some kind of either explanation needed or to show how to imply it or how to practice it. कि किसी चीज को काम करके बता देंगे, तफसील होगी तो और बता देंगे, अहकाम के कोई बात वाज़े नहीं है तो उसको वाज़े कर देंगे. और हमारा काम क्या है? वालेना अत-तस्लीम, हमारा काम ये है कि हम उसको मान लें. Suppose if you reverse the situation, We say we will design the deen, right? And we will modify it. And we will, suppose, for example, make something to aid in it or something to omit from it. So we are changing the whole definition of Islam. It is the only authority of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to do it. अल्लाह ताला ने कुरान में कहा है कि हमारा हमारा दिल चाहता है तो हम एक बात को भेज देते हैं, जब दिल चाहता है उसको हटा देते हैं। मानसख़ मिन आयतिन, हम किसी आयत को जब मनसूख करते हैं, एब्रोगेट करते हैं, so this is what we do it for the khair, and we can bring some other place in this place better thing. और उनसे नाति बखैर मिनहा और मिसलिहा। तो इसमें पहली बात, पहली हदीस जो है वो आई वांट टू जस्ट एस्टैब्लिश माय ओन पॉइंट्स इंशाल्लाह। द सेकंड हदीस जो है वो बड़ी खूबसूरत है कि it is not hadith but actually the saying of Asar from Salman Farisi, one of the very great, you can say not Muslim only, not Sahabi, but the seeker of Hidayah. His journey of seeking Hidayah is very, very long journey. He moved from Persia and he joined the Christianity, and he lived with many, many monks. And the last monk said to him that the last prophet is coming. If you can get him, go there. And he gave me some sign. So he became Muslim. He lived 60 years before Islam and 60 years after Islam. And he was the brother in Islam of Abu Darda, Sahabi. So once Abu Darda settled in Damascus, this Syrian capital now. So he wrote Abu Darda, Abu Salman Farsi, Halumma ila al-ard al-muqaddasa. I invite you to come here, and this is ard, sacred place. So you come here. Come in sacred place. तो अबू दरदा ने अबू सलमान फारसी को कहा कि मुक़द्दस ज़मीन जो है ये जो बिलाद शाम है, कुरान में भी इसका जिक्र है और नबी करीम ने भी तारीफ की है, तो आप भी यहीं आके आबाद हो जाइए। फ़कतब इलैहि सलमान अल-फारसी इन्न अल-अर्द ला तुक़द्दिसु अहदन इन्नमा युक़द्दिसु अल-इंसान अमलुहु। MashaAllah, you know how this person has a very, very pure and very clear understanding of Deen. He said, you know what? The land itself is not a sacred. The sacredcy come from the deed of person. उन्होंने कहा कि जमीन से तकद्दुस नहीं आता, तकद्दुस आता अमल से। अगर मैं मक्के में रह रहा हूँ और मक्के में शराब पीऊँ तो मेरी शराब मुकद्दस नहीं हो जाएगी। मैं नमाज नहीं पढ़ूँ तो मेरा अमल जो है वो मक्के में भी खराब रहेगा, और शैतान मक्के में भी रहता है। So this is the point, which is actually we need to understand that we are Muslim. So we are Muslim. So whatever we do, we are Muslim. And it is our way, for example, to practice Islam. And we think that we belong to from this noble family, from Ahlul Bayt, and from that family and that family. So Salman Farsi explained this issue very, very early time of this Ummah, that the taqaddus, the secrecy comes from our nobility in our deeds, our practice of Islam, our, for example, sincerity in Islam. एक और जगह से मैं आपको एक कौल नकल करना चाहता हूँ कि इमाम ज़हबी ने नकल किया है कि क़ाल al-Imam Malik, you know, one of the greatest muhaddis of Islam and greatest faqih of Islam, Imam Malik, and he is a faqih of Medina as well. سن رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم وولاة الأمور بعده سننا الأخذ بها اتباع كتاب الله واستكمال بطاعة الله وقوة على دين الله ليس لأحد تغييرها ولا تبديلها ولا النظر في شيء خالفها من اهتدى به فهو مهتد ومن استنصر بها فهو منصور ومن تركها اتبع غير سبيل المؤمنين وَوَاللَّهُ تَعَالَى مَا تَوَلَّى وَأَصْلَاهُ جَهَنَّمْ وَسَاءَتْ مَصِيرًا. So he said that Imam Malik said, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he established a way of life or way of deen. From his prophethood time, 23 years time, he established the sunnah. Sunan. And sunan means the way of we have to follow. The way Rasulullah started it, and he confirmed it, and then he showed us to, as a role model, how we follow him. And then those who become the responsible for our affairs after them, like Khulafa Rashidin, so they continue. They either implemented it, or they, for example, extended it or extracted the hukum further hukum in that's under Sunan. So he said, when we are following this trend of our early days of Sahaba, early days of Salaf, so we are following Book of Allah. And we are fulfilling our commitment as a obedient to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And we are adding our power to the power of Deen. And what is power we have? We actually using it to make Islam stronger. Now, next generation, their duty is not to change anything, not to omit anything, modify anything, and nothing they're supposed to accept which is opposite to it. Man ihtada bihi fahuwa muhtad. Any person who is taking the road of Hidayah, as the rightly guided people were there, so he will be also counted as a muhtadin, as a person of Hidayah. And this person, he is asking Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's help for his journey of struggle. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will always support him or her. Waman tarakaha, but any person who missed it, or he violated it, or he choose other way, which is not the way of believers, sabil al-mu'mineen. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will put his own burden on him alone. And he will not take care about this person. And he will lead him to go to Jahannam. And this is the worst kind of destination or end of destination. This is actually, he's referring to ayah. Quran says, this is the ayah from Quran. So in that sense, for example, what I'm saying, that the point is actually which I want to continue after our discussion in our previous talk, that we were talking about the three major issues. One issue is what is the Deen, and second issue, what is, for example, the Ummah, and third issue, for example, what is the way, for example, we go to connect ourselves with Deen and connect ourselves with Ummah. These are three issues. So I will talk, inshallah, today about some issues related to the position of what is our position. So मैं आपके सामने जैसे दो बातें रखना चाहता हूँ कि इंसान का मसला क्या है बुनियादी तौर पर। सबसे बड़ा मसला क्या है इंसान का मसला है उबूदियत का। यानी अल्लाह सुब्हानहू व तआला, he created us as a human being, right? Created in very noble shape. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala honored us with many great attributes which never provide to others, even the angels. وَلَقَدْ كَرَّمْنَا بَنِي آدَمَ, we honored human being. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala خَلَقْنَا الْإِنسَانَ فِي أَحْسَنِ تَقْوِيمٍ, we created in the best shape. And then Allah subhanahu said, we honored human being with aql, right? Very special kind of aql given to human being. The best part of this aql, which is not available to any other creation of Allah, the sense of good and bad, and the sense of achieving our target, our end result, our goal. अल्लाह ताला ने हमको इंसान को जो अक़ल दी है उसमें सबसे बड़ी बात यह है कि इंसान असबाब पे गौर कर लेता है। अक़ल से हर आदमी करता है, लेकिन असबाब से मकसद से कैसे जोड़े ये भी अल्लाह ने अक़ल में रखा है। दूसरी बात अल्लाह ने ये रखी है कि इंसान के अंदर अच्छे और बुरे की तमीज़ है। किसी मखलूक में नहीं, जानवरों में कोई तमीज़ नहीं, हलाल हराम की कोई तमीज़ नहीं उनके, लेकिन इंसान में रखी है। Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created also a human desires. We want to be forever. We want to live for eternal life without any problem, without any pain. तो अल्लाह ने कहा ये सब चीजें हैं, but now you can go with this option. One thing which is you must discover yourself, that whatever you are, and whole planet under your control. You can use anything with, right? But you are abd. So human nature is developed by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to worship. If you worship rightly, you will be the abd of Allah. If you don't worship him, you will have money, you will have your own desire, you will have your rulers, you will have your nation, or whatever, right? So इंसान जो है अब्दियत से नहीं निकल सकता, ये अब्दियत उसका लाजमी हिस्सा है। तो अल्लाह ताला हमसे ये कह रहा है कि better choice will be to be abd of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. इंसान जब अब्द होने से इनकार करता है तो वो खुदा बनना चाहता है. He become Khuda himself. He become God himself, right? See the rulers, those who lived for 50 years, 60 years, 70 years. They thought they are the kingmakers, they are lawmakers. They are the people of deciding about the destiny of people. अल्लाह ताला ये कह रहा है कि यू आर अब्द. तो अब्दियत जो है हमारी इबादत, इबादत का मतलब अरबी में होता है टू पेव ए वे टू मूव फॉरवर्ड स्मूथली. यानी रास्ते को आप ऐसा बना दें कि उसमें बहुत इजीली. तो अब्दियत क्या है? माई नफ्स is actually has a coaster riding. My nafs is going up and down, go here and there, everywhere. But if I tame my nafs and I control it, then my journey of ubudiyah will be easy. Suppose if I don't do it, one time I am good in masjid, other time I am bad in my business, right? So it is just like a, up and downs, heavens. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, if you make your journey of ubudiyah, so journey of ubudiyah is for whole life, for 24/7. It is not on and off. We should not be part-time abd. We are abd when, suppose for example, we are praying. We are good abd in fasting. We are good in hajj, but other time we are not. So ubudiyah is lifelong relation with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, without any kind of any. Yes, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give me some ahkam, maybe a little bit difficult, maybe a little bit hard, maybe a little bit against our desire, and Allah subhanahu maybe give something which is easier, both, everything. But my issue is that as a abd, I am going to surrender first my will to will of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So this abdiyat. Now under the Islam, which is the, you can say the whole way to prove that I am abd, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala revealed for me as Islam, a whole guidelines for life, right? Because Islam is a deen of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and under this deen, right, there is a Sharia which is covering all ahkam. There is a fiqh which is covering our practical side. There is a suluk or ihsan which is covering our moral side. There is some kind of, for example, punishment or hudud, or to establish a kind of barriers to make, for example, society safe, people safe from any kind of, example, encroachment or any kind, for example, bad kind of practices and so on. Mostly when we divide our ubudiyah, so we do our ubudiyah in two categories. The first category of ubudiyah is under iman. And when I'm a believer, so I surrender to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala under the category of pillars of iman. I believe one God, so I'm not allowed to do any other God, whatever capacity is. Maybe tiny part of ubudiyah is not allowed in Islam. I'm supposed to be 100% for one God for whole life. I have to believe in his books, which is only source of hidayah. I have to believe in his messenger, which is only source to convey the message of Allah through them. And I believe, for example, angels, very special creation of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. They are designed to do what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala asked them to do without any violation, without any kind, for example, missing some point, or without any kind, for example, doing something against the will of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. La ya'sun Allah ma amara wa yaf'aluna ma yu'marun. So they don't disobey Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, but they do what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala asked them to do. Then we have to believe in the day of akhirah, the next life. The death is not the resting point. It is not rest in peace. It is the next journey of accountability. It is the thing when the death happens, then the door of amal gone, closed, right? And the what was unseen, it becomes seen. It is become in my eyes. And then my question part started. So ubudiyah of aqidah, or what arkan al-iman, is beyond our aqil. First thing, beyond our own, for example, I can say, for example, and this is the reason why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala asked me 100% iman, and without any doubt, without any shak, without any kind of, अगर मेरे ईमान में मैं कहूँ 99% खुदा को एक मानता हूँ, ये ईमान नहीं होगा जब तक मैं 100% ना करूँ. दूसरी बात है कि इस ईमान के अंदर मुझे कुछ चीजें मान नहीं आ रही, लेकिन मेरी डेफिनेशन अल्लाह ने क्या दी, अल्लज़ीना युमिनूना बिल गैब, those who believe Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala without seeing Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. without seeing the akhirah, without seeing the Jannah, but they believe in that thing. So their iman is unseen thing. Now, for example, my aql can justify some issue, but it will not be the decisive decisive position to say, my aql accept it, so I accept the iman. My aql don't accept, so I don't accept it. Suppose some people in these days, they say we don't believe in azab al-qabr, the grave punishment, because azab al-qabr is not logical. It should be after akhirah, right? So their iman is based on their own understanding of aql. So they are making their aql judge. And they judge Islam according to their aql. तो अल्लाह ताला की तरफ से जो हमें अल्लाह ने जो ईमान दिया है उसमें पहला हिस्सा है जिसके अंदर, लेकिन हम एक बात पे यकीन रखते हैं ईमान में, क्या कि अल्लाह ताला हकीम है. अल्लाह ताला is wisdomful, so he don't ask anything which is not good, which is not logical, which not, for example, use any kind of with good result. तो हम हकीम के तौर पर अल्लाह की बात को मान लेते हैं, but we don't, what we do, we don't argue with it. दूसरा पार्ट जो है हमारा उबूदियत का, वो है which is related to our ibadat, related to our muamalat, related to our social life, political life, economical life, all of things. So I just give you, some, you can see the many diagrams, Islamic diagrams. They say, for example, we divide ahkam and so on. I give you another diagram. So my diagram is that in area of iman, my iman and my logical understanding of iman, I have maybe 5%, 10% my human addition or human explanation about iman. And when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave me iman, so I have to take as it is, right? So in this area, everything will be either said by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala or said by Rasulullah. Our position, just like suppose taqdeer. What is taqdeer, right? Destiny. So some way I can go with little bit explanation which make a person to realize it intellectually. यानी अकल को समझाने के लिए मैं थोड़ा सी अकल का इस्तेमाल करूंगा. मसलन जैसे अभी मैं एक साहब को सुना रहा था कि इमाम हनीफा ने एक दफा किसी आदमी ने उनसे पूछा कि तकदीर क्या है, तकदीर का इशू क्या है. तो उन्होंने he answered very beautiful, what is taqdeer, destiny. He said, you know what, there is a room, right? There's a room, and this room is locked, but we have no key to open it. We have no open. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala didn't provide this key to Rasul, and Rasulullah didn't provide this key to us. So what we will do? Now Rasul is gone, so key is also gone. So suppose if I break the lock, I will violate. If I, for example, go with my own understanding without seeing inside, I will just like, for example, going around. भुगतता रहूंगा मैं से. तो उन्होंने कहा कि दो तीन बातें हम समझ लें इस तकदीर के बारे में. तीन बातें उन्होंने कहा अल्लाह ताला जो है किसी आदमी को जितनी उसकी कैपेसिटी उससे ज्यादा उसको सजा नहीं देगा. यानी अल्लाह सुब्हानहू will never put any responsibility above to the person's ability. First thing. Second thing, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will not punish any person on base of ignorance. If the person don't know, so he will not punish them. Third thing, he will not ask anything. He will not something, for example, which is, for example, he didn't convey it to, and he didn't convey by Rasul something, so he will not ask about this issue. So he give the very balanced deen without any heavy burden on it, without any, for example, and he will establish a system to convey this message by Anbiya, and then he will ask about this thing. So कहने का मतलब मेरा ये था कि जो तकदीर है उसमें हम थोड़ी सी लॉजिक तो इस्तेमाल करेंगे, थोड़ी सी. अंबिया है, अगर हम ये साबित करना चाहें कि how you can prove that we need Anbiya intellectually, so we can do it, but mostly the iman part is 95% is based on wahi and is taken as it is. Now coming to ibadat. In ibadat, I say, and it is not rough, it is rough estimation, that the 60% of ibadat are given by Allah and His Messenger. But we have 40% to make ijtihad. Yani in aqidah we cannot do ijtihad. And we cannot assume. Yani अकीदे के अंदर हम गुमान नहीं ला सकते, हम इज्तिहाद नहीं कर सकते. But in ibadat, we have a possibility to go with our, like you can say, a strong assumption. We can go. Suppose, for example, I am praying here. So can I say that I'm seeing Kaaba? No, I'm not seeing Kaaba. But I assume strongly that the direction which I am praying, it is right. Ijtihad. So 40% in ijtihad we can do it. Now, in the worldly affairs, running government, running economical system, running social system, we have 20 to 30% from Wahi and 70% from our own intellectual thing, our own experience, our own knowledge, our dunya-based kind of example information. Yani just like I quote here one very special wording. Imam Malik said, "Al-maslaha al-mursala, it has 9th of 10th ilm. Tisatu ashar al-ilm. Yani there is just like 10 numbers of ilm, 9 are in maslaha mursala. What is maslaha mursala? So this is actually a point I want to just make a little bit, explanation about it. Maslaha in Islam and also in other religion, maslaha means two things. Maslaha means what is good, so I have to acquire it, right? Maslaha का मतलब ये कि मतलब भूख लग रही है मुझे, तो मुझे खाना खाना चाहिए. मुझे बीमारी है तो मुझे इलाज लेना चाहिए. ये मसला है मेरी. तो maslaha first thing. So maslaha is both. To remove bad thing, it is also maslaha, and to bring good thing, it is also maslaha. तो अगर मैं अपने बीमार होने से अपने आप को बचाऊंगा तो ये भी मसला है. इसको कहते हैं प्रिवेंटिव, राइट? इसीलिए हम कहते हैं जल्बुल मसलहा व दरुल मफसदा. यानी टू ब्रिंग द मसलहा, इट इज आल्सो मसलहा. It is first thing. Second thing, maslaha is two kind. Maslaha related to individuals and maslaha related to a whole society or collective life. मसलन घर बनाना है, ये मेरी मसलाहत है, लेकिन घर के लिए जो रोड के बाहर पॉलिसी है, सिग्नल है और ये सारी चीजों की है, ये क्या है? मसला आम्मा. So we go with both things, masla amma and maslaha khassa. In Islam, there is no any conflict between maslaha of individual and maslaha of society. Mostly the man-made system, either they focus on maslaha of individual. Suppose in capitalism, the individual is the authority to earn anything. Society has nothing to do with it. In socialism, society to control everything, individual has no any authority. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bringing Islam both things together. So we need maslaha for first. As a human being, I will face my consequences, right? Laysa al-insan illa ma sa'a. But there are some consequences which is governed by whole society. In Allah la yughayyiru ma biqawmin hatta yughayyiru ma bi anfusihim. There's a change in society cannot come then till the collective change will come from people, not only one person or two person. Masla amma and masla khasa. One thing which is also very important in Islam, and it is also in other systems, that the first thing is to remove mafsada, then to bring khair. Yani suppose, for example, if some person is fell in ditch, right, and ditch is filthy, very, very nothing. What is the first thing I have to do? I have to take him out first. Then I will wash his body, when I will remove any dirt from him and so on. But if say, no, brother, you're supposed to go with tahara, he cannot. So suppose a person is not praying, I will ask him first what? Take shower, make wudu, and then go and pray, and so on. So maslaha is both way, but the first thing is to remove the bad thing and to bring good thing. The third thing, which is not existing any system, that maslaha in Islam is not only for dunya. It is for maslaha al-akhirah. In dunya, if you achieve $1 million by cheating, by bravery, whatever, it is your money. But in Islam, it is not good because your akhirah will be spoiled. क्यों? इसलिए कि हमारी जो मसलहा है as a human being, my maslaha is related to my body and my soul both. So something may be good for body, but not good for soul, so I will not eat. Suppose drinking may be good for my body, maybe pork, good for my body. But Allah subhanahu said it is najis. Najis for what? Najis for my soul. Right? So in that sense, for example, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said your masla should be very, for example, balanced, very, for example, supporting to each other, and same time combined with akhirah also. This is the masla. So the point actually I will conclude today's session, inshallah. I will take a little bit time later. Today I will just make a short talk. But maslaha, how the maslaha is supposed to be visible in my life. How is maslaha should be. This is a written part. So I said in iman there's no maslaha, no visible maslaha. It is hikmah. In ibadat there's a maslaha in hikmah and illah. So 60% is by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, but 40% under our own intellectual. And in our cultural life, right, in our political life, we have 10-20% only from guidance of Allah, and 80% we can develop with our own. Suppose shura, right? Few points given about the shura, but how we develop 5 years, 10 years, right? How many members of this thing, how the parliament will run, and so on. These are things maslaha mursala. So we have a three kind maslaha. Maslaha in Islam, which is rejected by Islam, right? So suppose, for example, father supposed to behave with his son and daughter equally or not? He should, right? But in miras, if say no, I will divide equally. So this maslaha is rejected in Islam. So it called in Islam maslaha mulghat, yani love. The other maslaha which is approved by Sharia, just like talabul ilm, seeking knowledge, is maslaha or not, and approved or not, it is thing. But there's a third maslaha which called maslaha mursala. Maslaha mursala means the fundamentally it is okay, but detail is not given. Just like a ilm, right? Ilm is maslaha, but do you go with the university level, with the school level, with different kind of courses, different, it depends on you. It is leave for you, right? So in that sense, maslaha mursala is the bigger part of our cultural life, our political life, our economical life, right? All these things. But maslaha mursala will not work in ibadat. Maslaha mursala cannot work in aqidah. So as a human being, I divided myself. It is my, some other scholar they did the other way, but I'm doing it in a little bit different. I divide maslaha in three visible portion of maslaha supposed to be available in every Muslim. First maslaha is salihiyat. Yani this person is supposed to be not only very skillful person in his profession. It is one side. But he must be character-wise salih. And his life, salih means avoiding major sin, right? And avoiding from the shubhat, avoiding from, for example, which Islam rejected, right? So first thing is salihiyat. Second thing, also salahiyat. Salahiyat means this person, maybe he's a very good person, very pious man, but if you appoint him as a security man, he cannot do anything. If you suppose bring your car to repair, he don't know. So salahiyat means this person is supposed to be capable. So suppose if some person is good in, suppose in education, but not good in running a center or running an affair, right? So it means, for example, our person must salahiyat, it should be a common, but salahiyat will be based on different rules and different requirements. Third thing is also very important, which is that when you go with salahiyat and salahiyat, third thing you must know which part in Islam suitable for this time, maybe not suitable to other time. Maslahiyat. Maslahiyat means यानी जैसे मतलब आप मुस्लिम मुल्क में बैठे, वहां पर आप एक को बताएंगे, एक नॉन मुस्लिम कंट्री में वहां पे दूसरा को बताएंगे. यहाँ पर आपको एक आदमी सवाल करता है कि भाई मेरे पास जो है सूरज जो है बड़ी जल्दी से गुरूब हो जाता है, क्या ऐसा हो सकता है कि मैं मतलब घर से जा रहा हूँ, नमाज कज़ा हो जाएगी तो क्या मैं जमा कर लूँ? हो सकता है मैं यहाँ कह दूँ, लेकिन मैं पाकिस्तान में नहीं कहूँगा. तो मसलहियत का मतलब यह है कि यू हैव टू नो शरिया, you have to know the person, and you know the situation. So when you know the situation, you will go with all these together. So fiqh is actually only source to understand these kind of maslahat and bringing together with due position of everything. तो ये जो हमारी मतलब ये एक उबूदियत है, इस उबूदियत का एंड रिजल्ट ये हुआ कि हमारी उबूदियत ईमान के अंदर बिल्कुल परफेक्ट होनी चाहिए, लेकिन हमारी इबादत के अंदर परफेक्ट हो सकती है, लेकिन उसमें हम इज्तिहाद कर सकते हैं, और उस इज्तिहाद में हमसे गलती भी हो सकती है, उसमें हमारी राय भी अलग अलग हो सकती है. और उसके बाद जो कल्चरल चीज़ें, अब आप देखिए कि पाकिस्तान का कल्चर अलग होगा, इंडोनेशिया का अलग होगा, ड्रेस कोड अलग होंगे, फूड अलग होंगे. There's not no need, but only thing is that when the Islam gives some guideline, I have to follow in it. जैसा मसलन फर्स्ट की इस्लाम ने कहा कि भाई आपका लिबास जो है वो तकब्बुर का ना हो, मसलन इन एनी कल्चर शुड नॉट बी. इस्लाम ने कहा कि भाई आपका लिबास मर्द औरत का अलग अलग हो, इट शुड नॉट बी एनीवेयर. इस्लाम ने कहा कि आपका लिबास में मसलन जो वो है सत्र है फर्स्ट की, जो उसकी हिफाजत होनी चाहिए, जीनत भी हो सत्र भी हो. तो इसका मतलब ये है कि इन चीज़ों को हम करेंगे तो उससे हमारा इस्लाम जो है वो होगा. तो मैं जो जिस पॉइंट पे आपको लाना चाह रहा हूँ वो ये है कि जब हम ये बातें करेंगे आगे इंशाल्लाह, तो उसमें अगर ये 3 पॉइंट आपके जहन में रहेंगे कि मसलहत इस्लाम की बहुत अहम चीज़ है, ख़ासतौर से इबादत और मामलात में. और उसके बाद मसलहत का वो हिस्सा जो मसलहत मामलात में वो मसला मुर्सला है. और तीसरा नंबर पे ये है कि एक मुसलमान जिसको हम देखना चाहते हैं, कि इस्लाम देखना चाहता है, उसके अंदर 3 खूबियाँ होनी चाहिए. सबसे पहले सालेहियत होनी चाहिए, दूसरी बात उसके पास सलाहियत होनी चाहिए, और तीसरी चीज़ ये है कि उसको ये पहचान होनी चाहिए कि किस मौके पर, मसलन आपका स्टोरेज है, एक आदमी आपके पास आता है, आप पूरा स्टोरेज तो नहीं देते उसको, आप तो उसमें से उसको वो चीज़ देते हैं जो उसके हिसाब से सूट करती है. तो मसलाहियत, तो सलाहियत, सालेहियत, सलाहियत and maslahiyat. These things make the combination of maslaha is based on Islam, based on need, and based on personal achievement or collective achievement together. So inshallah, yani I will continue with other point inshallah later, and may I will stop here. Jazakumullahu khairan.
Time for any question or
Maybe 5 minutes inshallah. I am waiting for brother if he come later, so I can.
Yes, Assalamualaikum ji. Please, if anybody has any question, open up your mic and you can ask a question to also related to the topic that we just discussed today, which is one part of the Iqamat-e-Deen that also has started. So inshallah, it's going to be continuing this lecture next week.
जी.
Yeah, my question is my question is about the obedience of Allah. When we are getting the ilm and we are looking into apply those ilm as a amal, so how we can keep a balance from getting the knowledge and applying in our life, because that is the thing that we are missing in our life. So if you can give us some more.
So when we are, for example, seeking knowledge, so how we make, for example, our ubudiyya and our ilm linked to ubudiyya, right? So few things we need to understand. The first thing is that in Islam, there is no division between dunya ka ilm or akhirat ka ilm. Yeah, dunya based ilm and akhirat based ilm. There's no division. हमारे कहते हैं ना कि भाई ये दुनियावी इल्म है, ये दीनी इल्म है. दिस इज नॉट इस्लामिक डेफिनेशन, इट इज नॉट डिवीजन. इस्लाम में एवरी इल्म फ्रॉम अल्लाह सुब्हानहू व तआला. अल्लाह ताला ने आदम को क्या सिखाया था? वअल्लम आदम अल-अस्माअ कुल्लहा. We transferred to Adam alayhi salam every branch of ilm which is needed by him and by his generations, right? So he gave him all kind. Quran is ilm of science. Quran is science, medicine, Quran of everything. So there's nothing. The issue in Islam, priority, which come first. Yani Islam says the first come first. So what is the first ilm? About akhirah, about the maqsad of zindagi. What is my purpose of life, right? So this ilm is my first requirement. I have to go with priority. Second thing is that some basics of Islam are important for me. Basics. Every Muslim must know what is Iman, what is Salat, what is so. But detail of ilm based on your skill and your need. Suppose you are farmer, so your need is farming. Maybe I'm person good in tijara, so I can do in this thing. So in this way, Islam encourage all branches, but with this prioritizing it or making the priority. The third issue which is Islam make us, that is ilm may be a fitna, maybe a kind of teasing my or hurting my iman. तो some चीजें जो अल्लाह ने सब कुछ चीजों को इल्म से बंद कर दिया है, जिसको हम आज इल्म कह सकते हैं, बस जादू है. अल्लाह ने कहा इस इल्म को मत सीखो, हालांकि वो इल्म हो सकता है. बहुत से इल्म है ऐसे जो दुनिया में मौजूद है, लेकिन डोंट सीक इट. जैसे आदम से कहा कि तुम दरख्त के करीब मत जाओ. So some kind of ilm which is not leading to benefit of dunya, not benefiting of akhirah. So then this kind of off limit for me. Otherwise, everything is under ilm. Or there is a one point I must clear, that in Christianity, the concept is that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created apple to, and this apple was ilm. And he didn't allow Adam to go too near ilm. So they create a kind of Greek philosophy that Allah is opponent of human being first and is opponent of ilm. In Islam, first ayah revealed in Rasulullah about ilm, right? So, and Quran said to Rasulullah, said, Rabbi zidni ilman, oh Allah, increase me in my knowledge. So in that sense, for example, the ilm of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, ilm of Islam is not a, I can say, classified in this category or that category. All are classified by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, but with priority and with some limits.
I know we have to leave, so we'll respect the time, and inshallah we'll close the session here. Inshallah we'll continue next week.
Inshallah.
Jazakallah khairan.